Sonic is probably one of the most underrated characters within the world of One Punch Man, but today I'm going to provide y'all with an alternative perspective to how strong Sonic truly is. But before we get into the video, please like and subscribe, it would greatly help in spreading this video to others, and feel free to send a comment down below calling me an idiot for my opinion. We'll start with his earliest forms and make our way up, from his introduction against the Caped Baldy in Chapter 15, to his current interactions in the manga against Flashy Flash and the Heavenly Ninja Party. Upon Sonic's introduction, he was an absolute speed demon capable of moving so quickly that human eyes can't even perceive him. This is shown when he absolutely and utterly dismantles Hammerhead's squad before they can even react. Hammerhead even tries to bait Sonic into a linear space so that he can hit him no matter how fast he is, but Sonic accepts this challenge and he succeeds. Following this event, he runs into our Caped Baldy, and obviously we know how that interaction went. The next time we see this speedster is when he's in the same jail as S-Class hero Puri Puri Prisoner, and this is important as later on when Puri Puri breaks out of jail, Sonic does as well, and they get a run-in with the Deep Sea King. This is the first time that we ever see a character that we can compare Sonic to, that being Puri Puri Prisoner and the Deep Sea King. Despite these two seemingly having a pitched battle and trading blows back and forth, Sonic isn't the least bit impressed, and he actually thinks that he can beat both Puri Puri Prisoner and the Deep Sea King, kind of seeing both of them as insignificant. We then see Sonic perform some ludicrous feats of speed against the Sea King in both stages, consistently blitzing and toying with the dehydrated Deep Sea King, not even taking him seriously in the slightest. It is only after the King becomes hydrated that Sonic starts to recognize his speed and power as even dangerous in the first place. But even in the King's strongest state, he was still no match for Sonic's speed. Sonic was literally so much faster than the hydrated Deep Sea King that he thought he crushed Sonic with his bare hands, but Sonic was already on top of a building. It should have been me, Sonic, please, just one chance. Oh yeah, and he blitzed Genos before leaving to retrieve his weapons, which do make a huge difference as it is stated by Murata that Sonic would have killed the dehydrated Deep Sea King with his weapons. But now is when we get into the spicy stuff. Sonic, after a bit of training, goes to Saitama's apartment looking for a rematch, but instead what he gets is a run-in with the demon cyborg Genos. We don't see much of their initial scuffle as it is off-screen, but we do know that Genos couldn't hit Sonic and Sonic couldn't damage Genos, but these two were both holding back as we see later on in their scuffle. Sonic, confident that Genos can't even hit him in the first place, flexes on him without knowing that Genos was holding back, and when Genos cranks up the speed, he's able to pressure Sonic and even outspeed him, but Sonic is able to dodge his attacks that were so fast Fubuki couldn't even perceive them with her own eyes. This isn't even the craziest part, as once Sonic gets fed up with Genos, he uses the fourfold funeral technique, a technique so fast that Genos can't even see him. Yet, even that wasn't his top speed, as he's able to pull out tenfold funeral, which is far beyond the level that Fubuki considers S-Class fighting skills. The reason this is impressive is because G4 Genos is stated by one to be rather strong even among the S-Class, which would bare minimum place him around the tier of somebody like Tank Top Master, and we know this is the case because the statement was made around 2015. Sonic's next appearance isn't one of much note, but we do get to see a short scuffle between him and the ninjas from the village, Hellfire and Galewind. In this fight, he does show us some impressive feats reacting to both Hellfire and Gale at the same time while he's holding back, not even using abilities such as the funeral techniques. Here, I'll insert an explanation as to why the funerals aren't amped to stats. While yes, they are creating after images, Sonic is blatantly moving faster than he was before because he goes from being slower than Genos to absolutely perception blitzing him. We know this isn't just some weird technique because Genos then gives up on trying to hit Sonic and instead attempts to nuke the entire area as a response. Sonic only ever really admits inferiority to Gale when he transforms into his monster state, completely blitzing our favorite ninja. Reaching the final stretch and probably the most controversial part of the video, we have Sonic's interaction with Flashy Flash in the Heavenly Ninja Party. First, I am going to establish that I do believe Sonic is relative to Flashy Flash, and his feats against the hero tend to be downplayed, and I'll go through them here. Sonic is able to clash blades with Flashy, consistently reacting to him, and this is once again without the usage of his funeral techniques. Some people believe that Flashy was holding back here, but we do see that when Sonic uses his funeral techniques, Flashy is forced to use his own technique in response. Flashy even comments on the fact that Sonic is extremely fast and he was forced to use his absolute technique against Sonic. To add consistency to that, when we see the entire Heavenly Ninja Party starts to jump Sonic at the same time, he's able to react to all of them while off guard. We then see Flashy join the battle, and Sonic is able to keep up with him, matching him at every turn against the Ninja Village, even using combo attacks with Flashy. The final feat in the fight that leads people to believe that Sonic is actually much weaker than Flashy is the final scene against the Ninja's rock formation. But the problem with this is that the Heavenly Ninja Party was clearly off guard in this instance, and we see multiple members of the ninjas react to Flashy in this moment. One of them even being able to throw multiple huge rocks before Flashy can even reach him. The ninjas clearly didn't think anyone could counter their formation and therefore wouldn't be prepared for that. One of the members even stating, "How did you move like that?" implying it's more so how Flashy is moving rather than the speed in which he's moving. We then have the statement from Flashy that attributes his victory not to training but to combat experience. Flashy even has a whole flashback to Platinum S when talking about pride. In the most recent chapter, there's a couple statements that people will bring up as anti-statements for Speedosound Sonic. The problem is with most of them is that they're taken out of context. I'll save most of the details for another video coming soon where I talk about more ninja stuff. I will say that one of the statements is Empty Void stating Sonic is insignificant. The problem with this statement is that not only was Sonic not going all out in this moment, but Sonic showed blatant relativity to Flashy Flash in this scene. They moved a relative distance and performed an equal amount of strikes. So, taking that into account, Empty Void is likely trying to trigger his inferiority complex, and the statement likely doesn't even refer to power. So, while Sonic may not be Flash's exact equal as a combatant, he's clearly relative to him to a great degree. Overall, I think current Sonic would easily rank among the top 5 or 6 S-Class and would most certainly beat most of the cadre.